It's our secret. Never teach the Wu-Tang.
And what's going on, yo? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Ralphie again. Coming to you with another one. I'm standing over here. It is Friday over here in Florida, Central Florida. And by saying that, you already know, as you've heard probably in the news, that we have a hurricane on the way and all that good stuff. So I'm trying to get as much content as I can out. And before this thing comes and knocks down all my internet and all my power and all that stuff, if that happens, hopefully it doesn't. I hope it doesn't happen. But anyway, I wanted to talk about this Dave Chappelle thing. And I saw the Dave Chappelle thing on, what was it? I think I saw it on Wednesday or Thursday. This came out on Monday. Today's the 30th. This came out on Monday, August. If you don't know who Dave Chappelle is, I mean, he's legendary. To me, he's legendary. He's one of the comics that I've always followed since I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? Since I was young. I was a kid. I was following him since I was young, man. You know what I'm saying? When he was already doing stand-up and, when he was real skinny, but before he got all diesel and stuff. And he's just been real fun to me. And his style of comedy is what everybody really loves about comedy, is that he does what comedians are supposed to do. They take the things that are very that make us uneasy, nervous, things that are happening around the world that we normally stress about and we normally fight about all the time, and they make it funny. And for a moment, for that hour or hour and a half, however long these guys are doing their routine, everybody is laughing or should be laughing. But unfortunately, we live in the woke era where everybody's woke and everybody gets butthurt about everything, right? So Vice went ahead and made this article. I'm gonna read you some of it. And the title says you can definitely skip Dave Chappelle's new Netflix special, Sticks and Stones. Now, with that title alone, I could tell you that that's probably what made or is making a lot of people go watch it. So thank you, Vice, for that. By you saying that, don't go watch it, even if it was bad, which it wasn't, you need to go see it. It makes you want to go see it because you're like, oh my God, the guy who did the Chappelle show has a sucky show. Let me go see how sucky it is. You go and you're like, damn, this shit, you can either get offended or you like it. That's comedy. You shouldn't get offended. It's comedy. These guys aren't really going out there and doing these things. The Joe Rogans, the Bill Burrs, they joke about everything. And these are experts in taking the bad, the negative things that are happening in life, the things that are like controversial or whatever, and that separates everybody, making it funny. And it should be a time when all of us laugh and get together, and you know what I mean. So let me read you a little bit of this article. It says Dave Chappelle made a return to Netflix Monday with a new stand-up special, Sticks and Stones. Fans quickly realized that if you watch to the end, the special has a secret epilogue called The Punchline, which Chappelle answers questions from audience members who went to his separate Dave Chappelle on Broadway stand-up show last July. The special takes the comic's anti-wokeness shtick to a new level, and the whole thing is repetitive and exhausting enough that it's a slog to even make it to the Q&A. That's their opinion. You need to go see it and make your own opinion, okay? Chappelle's controversial 2017 Netflix special. What was it? The Netflix special, the Age of Spin, Dave Chappelle live at the Hollywood Palladium, and Equanimity and the Bird Revelation honed his voice as a comedian weary of progressive criticism. Hell, just these names alone are very, like, wow, artistic. You know what I mean? The voice is even sharper in his latest special. At one point in his routine, he says he doesn't believe Michael Jackson molested young children. He continues by saying that if Jackson did, the children should have felt lucky. The first time was with the King of Pop. You have to go see it because the way they put it here is not funny. They're not comedians. The way that Dave put it, the way that he delivered it, I'm all about delivery. The way that he delivered these jokes was so professional. That's all. So it's professional, man. You know what I mean? At one point in his routine, he says he doesn't believe Michael Jackson molested young children. He continues by saying that if Jackson did, the children feel lucky. That was with the King of Pop, adding, do you know how good it must have felt to go to school the next day after that shit? If, again, you read it here, you're like, why are you laughing, Ralphie? But if you go watch the show, okay, and you're not part of this woke thing, if you're just a regular person who's not you know, who doesn't live in a safe space, then you'll realize why I'm laughing. Chappelle also returned to his now infamous obsession with making fun of trans people, saying trans people hate my fucking guts, and I don't blame them. I can't stop writing jokes about these N words. This time, the jokes include asking the audience how funny it would be if he was actually a Chinese person stuck inside a black man's body, which you guessed it, is also including a racist impression of a Chinese person. Okay, you have to, again, to get the context of this, you have to go see the special. You can't just listen to this. You can't just read this article and make your decision. He also found time to defend fellow controversial comedians Kevin Hart and Louis C.K., painting them as victims of an overzealous call-out culture. Again, you have to go watch it to know exactly what he was talking about, because he made very, very good points. Basically, at one point he said to the people, and this was crazy, how people are brainwashed and people are like sheep. He said, he made fun. He goes, oh, I'm gonna take something you said 10, 12 years ago, and I'm gonna bring it back, and I'm gonna destroy you because you said that 12 years ago. I'm gonna hold that against you now. He's like, who is that? He said, I'm gonna do an impression, and that's what he did. Everybody in the audience was like, Trump, Trump, Trump. He was like, no, that's you guys, the audience, everybody. And it's true, because that's what they did to Kevin Hart. And, and I mean, you could hear, it was like, wow, they said Trump, they just said Trump without just in a heartbeat, like mindless, and I'm not defending Trump or anything, but just like mindless, uh, like a herd of sheep, just Trump. Like if they were brainwashed to say that, you know what I mean? And he said, no, that's you guys, because it was Twitter. Twitter, the people on Twitter, not Twitter, I'm not going to blame Twitter, but the people on Twitter are the ones that came at, Kevin Hart for what he said a long time ago. And he said, and you again, go watch it so you can see exactly what he said. And you'll be like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? He makes good points. The way he put this together is amazing. Now, check out, let me show you how artistic he even the trailer to the comedy special is. I want you to see this.
This is Dave. He tells jokes for a living. Hopefully, he makes people laugh. But these days, it's a high-stakes game. How did we get here, I wonder? I don't mean that metaphorically.
That's Morgan Freeman, by the way.
Asking, how did Dave get here? I mean, what the fuck is this? But what do I know? I'm just Morgan Freeman. Anyway, I guess what I'm trying to say is, if you say anything, you risk everything.
The background is I'm not gonna. I think it's Salt Flats, or either Salt Flats or White Sands. I think it's White Sands. He's in White Sands. Look over here, okay? What he's saying is, look, I'm by myself on this. You know what I'm saying? I'm alone. I'm walking this road alone because nobody else is. Everybody else is scared. All the other comedians don't want to. There's only a few comedians that go out there. The Joe Rogans, Bill Burrs, the Louis C.K.'s, you know what I mean? That will go out there and defy the laws of the woke movement that is trying to silence them from saying anything because they'll offend anyone. They can't say anything. One thing he said that hit hard, and one thing I've always said was, and I've always thought this, I've always thought this. He had a skit where he said the F word, F-A-G, and the lady who was director of the committee called him in the office and said, Dave, you can't say the F word. And he's like, why not? He's like, because you can't. You're not gay. And he was like, and I started to walk out, and then I stopped and turned around and said, wait a minute. He's like, I can't say the F word because I'm not gay, but I could say the N word. And she's like, yeah. And he said, but I'm not a N word. You know what I'm saying? And it makes sense. Well, hold on. I could say the N word. I'm not an N word. You know what I'm saying? But I can't say F. You know what I mean? Because she said he can't say it because he's not gay. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, you could say the N word, but you can't say the F word. Why? Who? What does the LGBTQ? What, I don't know what the acronyms are, or their letters are, but what do they have that makes them above everyone else? That makes them invincible? That is like, I mean, they're like dictators. That if you live in a dictatorship, you can't talk about the dictator, or you'll get your head cut off. That's what it's like. That's basically what he's saying, and it's true. He talked about everything, man. I mean, he left no stone unturned. White people, black people, Hispanic, Asians, everybody. Kids, pregnant women, abortion, the president. He didn't care. Talked about everything. It's okay to talk about the president. Look. This is what they've boiled it down to. It's okay to talk about the president, obviously, because they don't like the president. You know what I mean? It's it's okay to talk about black people. It's okay to use the N word. It's okay to talk about white people. They prefer that you talk about white people, especially straight white people. If you do a whole show talking about straight white people, that's what I think people are preferring now. You know, that's pretty much it. You can't talk about anything else. You know what I mean? You can't say midget. You can't say, I mean, you can't anything else. And he said, fuck that. I'm saying all this. I'm doing all this. You know what I mean? And he's leading the revolution right now. I'm telling you right now. This guy, after watching this, and I put out, you can follow me on Veterans View, at Veterans View on Twitter. I put out, I made a meme. I made like a picture with him doing his stand up. He was holding the mic, but I put an Infiniti Gauntlet on his hand because it felt like he had the Infiniti Gauntlet and he snapped his finger and everybody in safe spaces just started turning into dust, just disappearing. You know what I mean? Just started disappearing, turning into dust. You know what I mean? It was insane. It was just insane. You know, I was like, holy crap, man, this is crazy. But you need to go see it. You need to go see it and form your own opinion on it and see what it is that, you know, or how you feel about it. He takes everything that makes us uncomfortable, and for a while, that's what comedians do. They're hour long, whatever. They make us one, all of us, no matter what side you're on, whatever, no matter what happened, we can all laugh at each other and know that there are differences, that there are things that make us different, but all of us can be made fun of. There's not one group of people that can only be made fun of. Everybody can be made fun of. You're no more special than anyone because you have whatever, or because you're this, or because you sleep with this, or because you dress like this, or because you're not special. You are not special. You're not more special than anyone. That's what comedians do. But anyway, I loved it. Go check it out, man. And that's all I got, man. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow me on social media, follow the podcast. Think I'm gonna talk more in depth about this on my podcast, even though this is already 20 minutes long. And I will see y'all on the next smoke.